Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Jason.
Shh. Because this week we recommend A Quiet Place. So that's like the only quote I could.
Yeah, there ain't a lot of talking.
I mean, I can sign language. I can't, but I can.
You could pretend. Nobody can see us.
So, when was the first time you saw it? Did you see it in theater, at home?
I don't know, probably at home.
Probably at home.
Yeah, that was so fucking scary. It was really original.
Yeah, isn't it
thought it was
nice?
great.
Wow, it's an original idea. How crazy is that? And
Uh,
guess what? It worked and made money. And now it's its own franchise. Hey, let's do that more, you know? Sounds like a good idea.
I kept thinking of him as Jim from The Office, though.
It is
That was a
weird.
problem.
And I feel like in this movie, he doesn't do that much, really. He just kind of stands around and stares. And
No snarky cutaways.
yeah, he doesn't look at the camera at all. And I'm like, who are you? But I saw this in theater and it rules in theater. Like nobody was chewing popcorn. It was somehow the quietest theater.
because you had to be quiet.
It's like if you're allowed in a theater while watching this, everybody would be so pissed off.
My wife walked in the room and I panicked because she was making noise.
Yeah,
I was like,
Stop, we're all gonna die. Get out of here, lady.
no way, it's just a movie.
It's very hard to watch at home because it's a very quiet movie and my dog barks at every little thing. So it's like, all right, let's watch A Quiet Place. And
Oh,
it's like,
you'd have to sacrifice Snake. I'm sorry.
it's like, please, oh, dude, all dogs are dead.
You'd have to
No
sit him out
dogs
on
live
his
in this
own.
world. It's like in this movie when I see a raccoon, I'm like, man, that thing's got to die, right? I mean, there's no way. These raccoons have no idea.
Falling off the roof.
Yeah.
Shit.
Have you seen the second one?
Yes.
Man, the second one rules.
But I completely forgot about the ending to this one.
It's much louder, the second one is. I'm like, wow, they really didn't go Quiet Place on this one just because there's so much about using sound to distract and everything.
Yes.
Which actually brings me to a point I want to make. Man, you really feel like if they lived here this long, they should have more distractions, right? Around the house to distract the monsters away.
Oh, I
Instead
see
of
what
just
you're
the one
saying.
firework. I was like, once you put off the fireworks, I was like, why didn't you do more fireworks?
Yeah,
You need way more distractions
that's
than this.
true. That's true.
And
Like a
also,
big alarm horn or something.
like this movie and the kids. It's like, guys, like the one boy who is just scared of every little thing on the history of the planet right now. He's just like, every time you look at him, he's like, just like shivering in fear. It's like but
cornered squirrel.
he's like, he's the better kid in this movie because it's like, he doesn't want to move or do anything,
Yeah.
which is the
wants to
appropriate
live.
kid. Then you have the little boy at the beginning that, doesn't make it. And it's like, he knows to be quiet. But he's not being quiet. He's running around this whole store wanting a little rocket thing. It's like, why, kids? Just stop. And then you got the daughter who feels bad, which I understand because she is the reason the other kid died because you just didn't have to give him the freaking toy, right?
Well,
He grabbed the batteries, but
yes.
it's like, why? Just don't let him have it. Just make a rocket with sticks or something. I don't know.
Draw some more.
But then
Give him some
she's
chalk.
she's all like defiant and wanting to go and out and do stuff, but it's like, you can't hear, man. Like that stinks. But it's like, it's very dangerous for you. Because throughout both movies, every time I'm like, dude, this really stinks that she cannot hear because she needs to hear. They're constantly monsters like getting near her in both movies. And I'm like, turn around. It's like, golly. I
This
feel
would be
so bad for this.
This would be a scary place to live, but like carrying all that sand for miles.
Yeah, where did they get
would
the
be-
sand?
There's a beach nearby.
Is there?
There's a really nice beach.
They
with
should
fence house.
live near that beach because I feel like that's better. There's oceans. You're not going to.
They can
here.
still swim.
And there's, of course, the question of why don't they live near that waterfall?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you'd have to like build a house and
Yeah,
stuff.
but you'd
So
start over.
that would suck. So I do understand that. But I'm like, I would just hang out every day in that waterfall. I'd be like, we'll go home later. You know what? It's actually not super chill out tonight. So I'll just make a fire and we'll just live by the water this
For forever.
forever. I mean, that would be my plan. But they have a nice little cozy setup there, don't they? I love it.
Yeah, they've really adapted to the farming lifestyle.
And it's like they're making that one room for the baby noise proof.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah,
do that.
even like a noise-proof
Like,
modem or
yeah,
whatever, the thing that spins around.
yeah. It's like, why doesn't every room like that? Like your entire house at this point should be completely soundproof, I feel like.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
It's like, I don't know. But man, I think this movie rips. It is so suspenseful.
Yeah, it was
It's
killing
great.
me.
And it's not too bad with jump scares. There are a few. The second one goes jump scare heavy. But just like the use of sound in this movie, so fun. Just the cutting in and out of it. And then whenever you go into the ears of the monsters, it's like,
Yeah, it was
it's
crazy
so
ass.
cool.
And his skull opens up.
And why do you think like the monsters mess with electricity? Because the lights flicker every time that they come around. The TVs towards the end go all
Well,
staticky.
they're putting out a frequency with their heads.
Is that it?
I think
Okay.
because that's why they interacted with the
Man, do you think they
earpiece.
can hear ghosts?
Probably.
I don't know if you watch ghost shows, but they have like things called spirit boxes and things like that that can just hear very light sounds. It's like, do you think if there's just like a bunch of them at a haunted house just being like, I hear them. Where are they?
Yeah, he just hears
He's got to live near
this
a
place is a
haunted place.
nightmare, and that's why he's killing everyone.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me get into some facts. I have some fun ones. So,
Give me some of them juicy facts.
yeah, heap the facts for you, Jason. Let's go. John Krasinski played the monster in a motion capture suit. Okay, I'm not going to do that. John Krasinski played the monster in a motion capture suit. So the final design of the monster in A Quiet Place wasn't nailed down until well into post-production. On the set, John Krasinski himself played the monster in a motion capture suit. In the first few test screenings, audiences were laughing and the producers were panicking, worrying that something about the movie's terror wasn't clicking. However, as it turned out, they were just laughing because the CGI was unfinished, and in some shots, there was no CGI at all, and Krasinski could still be seen playing a monster in a motion capture suit. The test audiences responded a lot better when the effects were finished. I want to see that cut. Just like, yeah, with his giant beard.
The overall green suit thing that
Yeah.
they wear.
I don't know. That's awesome. I didn't realize he did that actually until looking up facts for this movie. And I was like, oh, it's like now I need to go back and rewatch it just to be like, well, did he walk like John Krasinski?
Was he on stilts?
He had to be, right? Something like that.
Oh,
Well, it's kind of like
those
when,
four-legged stilts.
What's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch played Smaug
Yeah.
in the Hobbit movie. Every time you see it, you just see him. And it's like, this rules.
But he's doing that like into just doing the voice over.
Well, he does the voice, but he also did like the motion capture for
Okay.
as much as it could. So I guess mainly for his face.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, that dragon looked identical to Benedict Cumberbatch, who already doesn't look like an actual human. He's an alien-looking guy.
Benedict Cumberdragon.
So I guess the kid that played Reagan, the little girl, what's her name?
God, I didn't
Millicent
think any of them had
Simmons.
names.
Oh, they don't. It's just at the end of the credits. I'll give them names, but they don't say them at all. So whenever I do, I'll respond their actual names when we go through the notes.
Your name becomes like an ear to like a baseball signal.
Yeah.
And then I'm not making fun. I don't mean to make fun of hand sign language, but
I mean, that would be quick. Just like
can't you just make
tug
up
on
your
the
own
left
name?
ear is one kid, tug on the right ear is one kid, wiggle the nose is another kid.
No more talking ever.
Yeah. So I guess Millicent Simmons, which plays Reagan, came up with the idea of changing the at the end, he was just supposed to say, I love you, and then he screams and then gets attacked, John Krasinski's character. But she came up with the ideas, I have always loved you. Apparently, it made John Krasinski cry.
Wow. It is a very touching moment. Yeah, because she didn't think he loved him anymore.
Yeah.
Since, the
And it's
thing.
like, which is the whole crux of the whole movie. And most of the stuff wouldn't happen if he just said he loved her more and tried to calm her down and being less of a brooding, lead character.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny that every time, even though they live in this world. Every time like a monster showed up, he always like did the shush sign with his
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know. It's been like 472 days. It's like, we got it, Dad. Don't worry about it.
I guess it would just be instinct.
Yeah. So the movie theaters were upset with the movie because people bought less popcorn
Oh, right.
while watching it because everybody was so self-conscious about eating popcorn, which is how theaters make all their money, is off the concessions.
Yeah,
I thought it was very funny.
that is pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pissed.
So,
What are we gonna do with all this popcorn?
holy crap. We need a loud blockbuster, not this crap. Maybe that's why the second movie's much louder.
Yes.
It's like, people gotta eat. People gotta eat. And in the pivotal scene where Emily Blunt's character is giving birth, apparently she just nailed it in one take. And according to John Krasinski, as soon as he called cut, Blunt dropped the character instantly and asked the crew members what everyone's having for lunch.
Well, I mean, you ask any pregnant woman to give birth again, they're gonna be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. It's like,
you're taking
like,
what I
we're
give
done.
you.
We're doing this in one take. So when Paramount first acquired the script for A Quiet Place, executives considered slotting it into their Cloverfield franchise.
That's cool.
Paramount previously turned unrelated scripts named The Cellar and God Particle into 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield Paradox. After discussions with John Krasinski and screenwriters Brian Woods and Scott Beck, they decided it was the best to let Quiet Place be its own thing. Now it's spawned a franchise of its own. So glad they didn't add it to the Cloverfield franchise. Just because that franchise needs to figure out what the fuck it's doing.
What, Cloverfield?
Yes, because
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
the
really.
first two are great, and then they do the God Particle movie, the one where they're in space, and it's like, what are we doing?
I did not see the God Particle one.
It immediately came out after the Super Bowl between the Eagles and Patriots, because the commercial came on in the middle of it, and it showed that it was Cloverfield, and I was like, oh my God, a Cloverfield movie. And this is me, my wife, Dakota, and Tyler were there. We're all watching the Super Bowl, and we're like, so y'all staying? And we're watching that afterwards. And it ended up being kind of a disappointment because it couldn't figure out if it wanted to be a Cloverfield movie or just some random movie in space, which is very annoying.
That's kind of annoying.
And it's just like, I don't want that mystique to be put on this good movie, you know? So it's like, let's just finish it. Yeah.
Just stank off my movie.
Get y'all stank off my damn movie. So John Krasinski was initially reluctant to do a horror movie. He almost decided against making this movie. He was about to begin shooting the first season of the Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan for Amazon. He was reluctant to do a horror movie, feeling that the genre was outside his wheelhouse. However, when the premise of A Quiet Place was described to him and he realized that it was a story about a family, he decided it was a movie he wanted to make and signed on immediately. And having recently become a father himself, he connected with the fears and anxieties of the Abbott family, embodied by the alien creatures roaming the earth. So yeah, he didn't want to do horror movies. It is pretty weird to see John Krasinski in a horror movie. Because when it first came out, I was like, wait, is he like a little horror hound? It's like he just loves horror movies. No, he doesn't like them, I guess.
He did pretty good.
But he did really good while filming
I was
it.
I was really impressed with his performance.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And outside the two Quiet Place movies, I think he's done 4 total movies directed. I think he's directed 4. The others aren't good.
Oh.
You have If, which is Imaginary Friends, and I think it's like Promised Land, which is some son of...
Like Drop Dead Fred?
What?
Is it like that?
Man, that would be a better movie. I'd watch the remake of that. No, you can't, because the lead actor of that passed away, which sucks.
That sucks.
Did you know that actor was going to play Peeves in the Harry Potter movies?
No.
But he was too funny and kept making all the kids laugh, so they kicked him off the set. And they took his character out.
What a dick.
I guess there is some footage of him, but I don't know where. I don't know how to watch it. I'm like, that sucks, because that guy is so funny. I mean, hella annoying in that movie, Drop Dead Fred, but also hysterical and great. All right, bro. You ready to hop into this film?
Sure.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to do this in all whispers, okay? It's going to be a very whisper-filled podcast. It's going to be the easiest thing for me to edit ever. So there'll be no mic bleed. But just kidding, because on day 89, we see a family quietly tiptoeing barefoot through an empty store of a ghost town. As they're going through, you mainly see Reagan and the first little kid first. I think his name was Bo.
I have no idea.
Bo in the house. From it's a joke from Papa John's.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, nobody will cutting it. So, and you see like the little kid Bo just running around as fast as he can through this place, and it's like, why is no one just holding this kid the entire time?
At least he's barefoot.
Right. And we see the family's mother, Evelyn, she's played by Emily Blunt, carefully looking through a cluster of uncollected prescription bottles for her eldest son, Marcus, who is sick and the most fragile kid in the history of the planet.
Did you see what she got? I didn't.
I didn't see what it was. I'm assuming it was an antibiotic or something, or maybe just some sort of cold medicine, fancy cold medicine.
Xanax.
And it's like, I understand that you don't want to carry a bunch of prescription bottles because, rattle, but maybe take like 2 or 3 at a time and just like hold them on each hand and just like slowly walk back.
Wrap them in a cloth.
Yeah, because like this just ain't working, lady. You guys got to try to come back here as little as possible.
Yeah, I know. Well, just take everything.
Yeah. And so Evelyn gives Marcus the medication, uses sign language to reassure her deaf daughter, Reagan, that her brother is okay. Reagan then checks on her younger brother, Bo, who is drawing a picture of a rocket on the floor, and he signs rocket. That's how we'll get away. Reagan's like, we ain't ever get away. And then climbs a mostly empty shelf of in the store and reaches for a space shuttle toy.
Hell yeah. It's kind of like the NASA space shuttle.
And what I like is in the second movie, John Krasinski at the very beginning on day 1 goes into the same store and you see like the rocket ship and stuff.
Oh,
like,
cool.
In the exact same aisle. I was like, pointed at the TV and I'm like, but the toy falls from the shelf and luckily Reagan's able to catch it. Meanwhile, the film, I know, it's just like, oh my God, terrible.
Saved everyone's life.
Yes. It's like, thanks to God, she was paying attention. Because the parents aren't ever paying attention to these kids. They give them a really long leash. Meanwhile, the family's father, Lee, played by John Krasinski, has scavenged some electronics for a radio, which will boost his signal, as well as cutting some pliers for Reagan. Evelyn signs to her family it will be dark soon, and they prepare to leave when looks of horror comes across their faces. Bo has the electronic space shuttle toy in his hands, which Lee carefully takes from him, removing the batteries. Everybody's face.
Yeah.
What I love about this, it's kind of when we talk about Steven Spielberg and the War of the Worlds, I feel like John Krasinski did a great job at giving a like Spielberg look, but instead of being like amazed, it was always terrified in this movie because it was always like something happened.
And
slow turn to camera.
It's so like intense.
A gaped mouth. It's like, wow, it's great. He signs to his youngest son, it's too loud. As the family departs, Reagan sneaks the toy back to Bo and then grabs the batteries on his way out because Bo isn't smart.
He's got a death wish.
And you should have kept the batteries and just, I don't know, just thrown them over the bridge so the kid would never got them as you walked. You should have never just set them next to him on the counter. The Abbotts are silently walking back home on a trail of sand they've created. As they come to a walking bridge, they suddenly hear the electronic sound of a space shuttle toy from Bo, who's pulling up to the rear. A horrified Lee races back toward his son, but it's too late. An alien creature quickly seizes and kills Bo.
God, it was horrible.
Wow. Yeah,
so
terrible.
bad.
And it's just like, dude, Bo, you've been quiet this whole time. So you know that you're supposed to be quiet. Why did you do this? That's why I'm not having kids.
He probably didn't know.
This specific reason when we have an alien invasion, I'm like, Scott, you stay outside now. Good luck, kid. But what I really like about this part is
the terrified look on his mom's face.
So you kind of get the perspective from what Reagan hears, which is nothing. And so everybody kind of turns around and is like, no.
Oh, she sees him.
And then she's just like, what's going on? What are you talking about? And then slowly turns and sees what's happening. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. It's such a good, like, the way that they use the fact that she can't hear, they really do a great job with it.
Oh, it's crazy.
I hate that they have to give her and like put her in some of the stupidest situations to get there, but like, hell yeah, that's so good. I don't know. It's just very effective and striking when you can't hear what's supposed to be happening. And then of course, all of a sudden, all the sound comes in at once and it's like, It's a very satisfying way to do jump scares, I find. Because it's like, oh, it's part of the movie.
Yeah, because it builds up so much tension.
It's not just random people just because you can't, with her, she can't hear, so you can't just be like, hey, I'm coming right behind you. Don't worry. Like, I'm not here to scare you like they do in a bunch of horror movies where people just pop out of rooms and be like, hey. It's like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just say, hey, I'm right here, by the way?
They need one of those sticky hands.
Yeah.
To just like throw at her face and be like,
hey,
turn around.
Listen, monster. But then we cut to day 472. The Abbotts are home on their family farm. Lee is in the basement of the farmhouse where he has set up a surveillance system of cameras and monitors, as well as radios and electronics, which he uses to hope to contacting other survivors. You also see a bunch of like newspaper clippings and stuff.
And he's studying the monsters.
Yeah. And you see all the things where it's like, stay in your home, quarantine, don't go outside, don't make noise.
What's the weakness?
And then you get these very, very detailed and smart whiteboard writings like blind, attack sound, and armor. Weakness. What is the weakness? With like weakness circled in red. And it's like, did you have to write this?
This is a big project. Huh?
Yeah. It's like, man, you haven't came up with any other notes.
Yeah. It's all you got.
It's like, you had to write this down to remember.
This is quite a thinker.
Yeah. And then we see Marcus, the other little kid. You see him practicing driving. I'm sure that won't come in handy later.
And I wonder how he tells them apart, because it says there's 3 in the area. Like, do they have them tagged?
Yeah, how do you know?
They got them tagged.
Unless they just see them. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean,
they watch their patterns.
I guess it's just like, hey, I'm going to throw something loud over there and let's see how many come over, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that was scary.
Yeah. So Evelyn, meanwhile, is in the cellar where she hangs a baby toy she's crafted. Evelyn is pregnant. She sets up an oxygen tank, which is connected to an infant breathing mask. It sits next to a covered soundproof baby crib. I don't understand.
It's like
you gotta use condoms, man. After aliens attack, like you gotta learn how to pull out, John.
Life finds a way.
It's like I know you love your wife, but y'all can't be just pumping inside her, you know. It's like, let's see, because it's 472. So
yeah, they've been doing it a while.
Well, after, I mean, even if it's, golly, why? How do you have a kid? How do you accidentally have a kid in this situation? I'd be like, we're just not having sex. I don't know. Here's some toys to use for masturbation.
Maybe in a fucked up way, they were trying to replace the one that got killed. You know,
babies cry, man.
Yes, yes.
You yell when you give birth.
That's why they built a tiny little coffin.
I don't know, man. You got 2 kids. They're already a handful in itself. Constantly not listening and freaking out. But anyway, so
it's got to be hard growing up in a post-apocalypse.
Yeah, God, terrible. At least they have Monopoly.
Oh fuck no, man! Monopoly ruins. It kills your family.
That's what Marcus. He was trying to burn down the house. He's just so pissed off.
Pass go.
God dang it, man! You couldn't play Trouble. Little pop thing.
Yeah,
sucks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did that have one too, or is that just Trouble? I don't know.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. You rolled the dice
fucking
yourself.
Boggle.
Welcome to Game Board Talk.
Games not to play.
Yeah.
Around monsters.
So Lee has moved up to the top of the grain silo where he looks through pictures of Bo. He also lights a fire, and we see survivors around him doing the same, which is pretty cool.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. Evelyn asks Reagan to tell her father that dinner is ready, which she reluctantly does. After silent prayer, they eat quiet foods on leaves of lettuce instead of plates. Afterwards, Reagan and Marcus play Monopoly when he accidentally knocks over a lantern, which sets the rug on fire. I like the Monopoly pieces are all quiet little
Yes, I did
pieces.
see. Yeah, they're all knitted.
But they couldn't but there is no knitted dice, so they still had to roll the dice on the carpet.
I thought I had misremembered this scene. I thought he rolled them on the table or on the board on accident, but
yeah, no,
over the lamp.
Something even worse: a giant lamp breaking glass.
Oh, my heat was on that fire though.
Yeah,
Whoosh.
Yeah, they were ready for it.
It must could do that a lot.
Also, I should say, because I kind of skipped over that Reagan's reluctant to ask the father to come for dinner because she thinks that Lee, the father, is upset at her for giving the toy, and she super blames herself and is just constantly feeling bad about it and thinks her father hates her and only likes the other kid, which I guess is just because he's kind of harder on her, and he doesn't want her to go into the basement for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like everything could have been solved if you just worked together with your kid with the hearing
Yeah.
aid thing.
I mean, he didn't have. I mean, what else was down there
There was
that he
nothing
didn't
down
want her to know about?
But you didn't want to see the newspaper clippings?
Yeah.
Hey, she's already seen this monster kill one of her brothers. I think she's past that now.
I know.
Yeah, pretty much the whole movie would have been fine if she just didn't.
Maybe he just has like he's watching so much porn
So
on
much
every single
porn.
screen.
Yeah, just like silent porn, which is
Like
silent
from-
movies.
like from this black and white
Yeah.
era.
So Lee quickly puts it out at the fire and quietly wait for the consequences. It seems as though they've dodged a bullet, but then hear a loud noise on the roof. Turns out it's just going to end up being a raccoon. They think they're all safe.
This happens to me all the time, you know.
You just hear raccoons outside?
They just fall. They fall from the trees above our house and land on our roof, and it
Really?
sounds like something like a meteor.
Yeah.
It's so loud.
I don't understand why like the monsters didn't immediately attack though. That was a really loud sound.
Well, they came running though.
Yeah, eventually, like whenever the raccoons were just walking away and then it ends up smashing one. I'm like, poor raccoon.
Yeah, he got obliterated.
Yeah. So Lee.
They're all like really overweight. And
Yeah,
like,
I know. They've just been eating everybody's trash.
These things are great.
Probably eating
They're
humans.
so cute. And then there's a snack.
The other raccoons is like, I told you, shut up. So, yeah, Lee heads down to the basement to work on her ear implant, which will hopefully help his daughter hear. Evelyn comes down where they share a smile, a set of earbuds as they slow dance the Neil Young song Harvest Moon. And it's reminiscent of when he danced with Pam for the first time outside of the office, in the office.
What, for real?
Yeah.
Did they do the same thing?
Well, they like listen to an iPod and they just kind of slowly sway together.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, they're just doing The Office right here. Which I'm pretty sure I did read that John Krasinski, got some inspiration from that scene from The Office.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I hope he wasn't thinking about Jenna Fisher, Emily Blunt. Better talk to your boy.
Yes, I'm so angry.
Yeah. So then it's the next day, day 473, while Lee is pouring down some more sand on their walking path, which seems super annoying because you can only take one bag at a time.
Where are you getting the sand?
Where the hell are you getting the sand? And can you carry 2 bags at a time? I guess you don't want to get it done super fast because then, you wouldn't have anything else to do. Or you could be using this time to
if they just
soundproof
do it
your
a
house.
little bit every day, I guess I could see it.
Yeah.
It's gotta take
In which
forever.
later in the other movies, like whenever you see how far out they put the sand, it's pretty crazy. Because then it gets to the point where they stop to the end of the sand and they're all like, crap, now we got to walk on leaves.
Yeah, because it's
Terrible.
Did it all the way to town.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like a mile.
So cool, though. It's such a great visual of it.
With fucking seashells in it.
Yeah.
Stepping on them. Broken beer bottles and shit.
Yeah. It's like, dang, post-apocalypse. People still littering out here. Wild. So while Lee is pouring down more... Oh, already did that. Evelyn is in the cellar checking her blood pressure. Her due date is just a couple weeks away, we see. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So stressful. Stressed out.
Do you think she was maybe a doctor or something?
No, I think they just kind of... I don't know what they probably ended up doing. Just assume they probably have a bunch of survival books and just... Oh, well, she had 3 kids, so I'm pretty sure she was probably just like, I kind of get what the process
but
is.
it seemed like she knew quite a bit about medicine and stuff,
Guess they just had to learn it. I don't know. Nothing
Sure.
you can do. So she places a stethoscope to her abdomen, revealing a strong, healthy heartbeat. Reagan enters the house, being careful to walk on all the marked parts of the floor, which don't creak, and
She's like, be quiet.
Yeah.
Punches it.
Yeah. It wants to go down in the basement, but her dad stops her for some reason. He's added small amplifiers from a stereo to her new implant and wants to put them on Reagan, but she stops him and signs that they never work. It's like, dude, just try it real quick. You could be done with your dad so quick. Just be like, it never worked. It's like, here, just try it. Didn't work. Okay, I'll take it back.
Just humor him for 1 second.
Yeah. It's just, she's being an angsty kid, because she got her son dead, or kid dead, her brother dead. Jesus. Lee is super disheartened about this, hands them to her instead, and starts to set out on an excursion. He wants Marcus to come with him, but the boy is scared and doesn't want to go. because Marcus is the most fragile kid in the history of the planet.
He's really smart.
Yeah, he's smart. Like, nah, Dad. But then, like, Evelyn tells him, it's like, you have to go because you're going to have to do this one day.
Yes.
So you need to learn how to do it. It's like, I don't know, let the kid grow up a couple more years. He's obviously not in the right headspace right now. He's literally getting over, oh, wait, no, that's day 89. Yeah.
It was like a year and a half before, wasn't it?
Day 89 to day 473. Yeah, something like that. Little under a year. Or a little over a year.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, he doesn't want to go. Instead, it's Reagan who wants to go, but Lee tells her to stay and take care of her mom. She runs to her room and tries on the new implant processor. When they don't work, she's completely devastated. But it's true. Like, it'd probably be better if Marcus went with him because he could protect Marcus and show him things. And Reagan could help protect the mom who needs help. As we will see through the next few scenes, some kid needed to stay with her because so many bad things happens because no one else is with her.
Yeah.
And it's like, why didn't you just stay and protect your mom?
Yeah, that sucked.
Sucks. So anyways, Reagan packs a bag, which includes her cutting pliers and a wrapped object from her dresser, then leaves the farm. The wrapped object is the toy rocket.
Space shuttle.
Yeah.
She's going to visit her dead brother.
Yeah.
So sad.
R.I.P.
Well, she's pretty, like, she's really smart. You know, she clips the sound.
Yeah, so they could light up out of respect.
That's cool.
Pour out one for the homie Bo.
Yeah.
Pour out some orange juice.
She drinks a lot of Hennessy.
Yeah. She just walks in the middle of the forest with 2 40s.
Come on, me, you motherfuckers.
It's for my homies in Bruges. So Lee is taking his son to a river where he teaches him that making small sounds is okay as long as louder sounds are nearby. While all this is happening, we also get kind of cutbacks to Evelyn as well. Because how we figure out small sounds are okay around like rivers and stuff is because he catches a fish and drops it. Of course, the kid doesn't help. He's just immediately like, I'm running away.
I thought he was going to like smack its head on the rock.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Why didn't you just smack it? Like, hurry up. Like, man, they're really good at catching fish though. Like he had a bunch of
all those traps. That was cool.
Fish looked so good when they brought it out on those leaves.
Yeah, it makes you want to buy a survival book.
Yeah, right. But yeah, the kid's immediately like, I'm out of here. They're gonna hear it. And it's like, no, you can make small sounds. While this is happening, Evelyn is doing laundry and she's struggling with a bag and she's walking up the stairs and catches it on a nails.
Ugh.
And it points it straight up. A live nail. I don't know how this nail was hammered into this stair.
Why was there to begin with?
Why is it in the middle of the stair? And why was it pointed up instead of being nailed down? We don't know, but it's excellent, and I absolutely love that they did it in this movie. It rules.
God, it sucks so bad.
Yeah. And now they're next to Lee and Marcus are next to a waterfall and can speak freely to each other without fear of being heard. They yell woo and stuff. I'm like, okay, but now we might be pushing it. So let's just chill out.
Have you ever fucking stepped on anything like that?
Oh, a nail? I've stepped on a nail. Not all the way through like that. That's rough.
I jumped out of a pool and landed on a piece of rebar that was sticking out of the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
And went through the bottom of my foot. It didn't go all the way through either, but
golly.
That sucks so bad.
It's
huge.
With rebar, there is something that like I think about often. It was me and a couple of my friends when I was in high school. We were playing football, and at one of the guys' house, we're just kind of playing like 1-on-1, and somebody was constant quarterback. And so I was going out to like defend a pass against this guy, and I fell down. But as I was stumbling, I saw like that for some reason they had rebar just in the ground sticking straight up, and I just like luckily I saw it and was like kind of fell the other way, and I was like, I could have.
You would have died. Been impaled.
Jesus Christ.
That would suck.
That's constantly something I've thought about throughout my life since then. Even though it's like 15 years later.
You'd be like, oh, hole in the face, Jesse.
Yeah. Oh, holy Jesse. I don't have to worry about the holes in my wisdom teeth right now. Marcus asks his dad why he didn't let Reagan come and if he blames her for what happened to Bo because she blames herself. When Lee says it's no one's fault, Marcus tells him if he still loves her, he should tell her. Have you not been telling your kid you love her? What is wrong with you, bro? You know, actually now I'm not as upset about what the kids do. I'm actually getting more upset about what John Krasinski's
they got
does.
problems.
So, man, they needed therapy. Too bad they can't talk.
Nope.
So during this conversation, Reagan has arrived at the walking bridge where a makeshift memorial has been constructed for Bo. She unwraps the object from her dresser, which ends up being the space shuttle. She uses pliers to cut the lights out or cuts the sound out so it just lights up. On the way back home, Lee and Marcus are startled by an old man coming out of the woods and then notices the dead body of his wife on the ground nearby.
He snaps.
Yeah. Lee implores the old man to stay silent, but instead he lets out a primal scream. And before that, Marcus walks by in the woods and sees this house, and he's petrified of this house. I'm like, Marcus, you can't be scared of every little thing. It's just a house, man. Why are you just? Because he's like,
creepy old house.
like shaking. I'm like, dude, you're just walking by this house. You had to walk by it when you got here.
That guy was pretty scary looking, but I did. He
Yeah,
did
that kid
really
was terrifying.
I mean, the old guy. Like
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He was the scream he did.
Yeah,
It was really cool because it looked like it was just he's couldn't even hold it back anymore. It
Yeah.
was just so.
and why did his wife die?
He looks like she got attacked by a monster.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was looking away for a second during that scene. I just thought she like died.
Her stomach was all bloody, like right here, same place that Jim.
Gotcha.
got-
Get stabbed. Yeah. Man, I can't believe I missed that part. I'm such an idiot. So Lee grabs Marcus and runs as the man is quickly scooped up and killed by an alien. Rip to that old man randomly in the
Oh
woods.
man,
Yeah.
they're so fast and scary.
I know they're impossible. You can't even drive away from them.
I thought at first they were going under the ground, but they're just right on top.
Yeah.
Like, low to the
No,
ground.
just low and
Just
they're just
like
running as fast as
The
they can.
perfect predator.
Yeah. Remind me of like the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk movies because they can just run so fast and jump like crazy.
Yeah, it's wild how they make them jump through the air.
Yeah.
And they just
They're
stab.
completely impenetrable, so they can just run into anything that they want.
Hell yeah.
So back home, Evelyn Waters breaks. Bum, bum, bum. She heads down to the basement and impales her foot on the exposed nail coming up from the stair. Brutal, excellent,
Oh.
amazing. Hurts my foot every time I see it.
How does she not scream?
I don't know.
She's
Yeah.
good at not scream.
She's so good. Yeah, it's wild. Ah, man. Like the amount of suspense for whenever you just see her walking down the stairs, it's like, no, don't.
Yes.
Please let this happen to someone else, not the one person it
But you
doesn't need to
can't
happen.
wait for it to happen.
Yeah,
too.
at the same time. It's like once you introduce a nail standing straight up on a stairs, you have to see it in the second act.
I thought it would be funny if she just kept stepping on it, going up and
Yeah.
down the stairs, like the monster
Because
steps on it.
they constantly go up and down the stairs more. And every time it's like, man, these other people don't know that there's a nail sticking up. It's like by the end of the movie, everybody's walking with a limp because they all keep stepping on the nails. The dad's the last one to do it. Be like, why didn't anybody tell me this? If we have nails, someone needs to say something.
You guys have been down here all fucking day.
Yeah. So she manages not to scream out, but drops the picture frame she was holding, which draws an alien into the house. And Evelyn pulls her foot off the nail, switches on the red lights, which run across the property and serve as a warning signal, and searches the shelves for a mechanical kitchen timer.
That's pretty cool.
She's smart. She's the smartest person in the movie.
So the lights, were they separate lights? Or
Yeah,
right?
I guess they had it like on a certain.
They had like two different lights going
Yeah.
on. And
Yeah.
that was the emergency lights.
And I read that
That's cool.
the lights emanate a noise, and I guess they didn't really show it in the movie, but just from like some behind the scenes stuff I read, those lights emit like a little bit of a buzz, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to distract the monsters. Doesn't
Oh.
seem to work.
Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. It
Because-
seems like it would just draw them.
Well, I mean, they're already there, so I guess they're just like, what the fuck ever.
I guess it might confuse them a little
Yeah, that's
bit.
what it's kind of supposed to
Yeah.
do, confuse them, but they didn't seem to really care about it because they constantly kept making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So the alien slowly walks down the stairs into the basement, listening for any evidence of life. This
Yeah,
scene,
it just shows you inside of its head.
yeah, it's
This
so
fucking
good.
ear.
This whole scene just rules.
Ugh.
The whole pregnancy scene just goes.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
When the timer goes off, the alien attacks it as Evelyn runs upstairs. She sees another alien in the front yard, just kind of slowly walks behind her. Evelyn goes upstairs into the bathroom and sinks into the tub. She starts to give birth as the alien comes upstairs. It's got blood coming out of her, running into the thing.
It
And
never says anything about their like sense of their other senses. You
no,
know,
I don't think
Are
they have any. I
They
think
don't smell.
they just
Maybe not
their
that
face
great.
is just ears.
Yeah.
I have ears. So I guess another thing that I read is the fact that the baby doesn't immediately come out screaming and stuff. So I guess the fact that she was bleeding, there's like a certain term they call it, but man, I really shouldn't have brought this up because I can't remember any of the terms. But I guess because of the lack of blood loss, the baby isn't going to come out. It comes out like tired and sleeping, I guess,
Yeah.
which causes both of them to fall asleep and is why the baby isn't immediately crying after giving birth.
Ah,
But that was
interesting.
interesting, I thought. Like they really thought a
Yeah.
lot of things out in this
That's
movie.
going to be terrifying.
Yeah.
But they had that room. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the basement in the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Great room.
soundproof.
Too bad they probably worked 400 days on it and it
And they just
didn't work at all.
flooded it.
Immediately dies. So the intercut with
But was it flooding because they put the timer up there on it?
so it's flooding because I guess the monster ends up hitting like the whatever water
Yeah.
line that's in there.
Yeah, but I thought that's because she put the timer on it.
Oh no, because this was the basement of their house. This
Oh,
is all
okay.
in the barn. That
Right.
happens. So we see Lee, who has returned home and is horrified to see that the red lights have been switched on. He signs the word rocket to his son, then tells him, "I need you to make a louder sound."
Team Rocket.
And tells him he can do it. Lee grabs his shotgun as Marcus sprints to a designated area and lights a fuse, which sets off a series of fireworks. And then you get because during this whole time, she's giving birth and Evelyn's trying not to scream. And as the fireworks goes off, she just lets out this like huge scream. Like, hell yeah, that
Yeah,
rules.
she finally has a chance to let it out.
It's like, finally.
Can you imagine what the other people are thinking? They're like, "Oh fuck!"
Like, what the hell?
They're dead.
Something is not going well over there.
They're fucking dead. Let's stay here though.
Yeah, we're not helping,
It
obviously.
seems like they're doing a lot.
Yeah. So Lee searches the house and walks into the bathroom where he sees an empty bathtub covered in his wife's blood. He kind of starts to weep. He believes that Evelyn is dead, then discovers that she is safe and hiding in the shower with her new
She's
baby
with
boy.
Leonardo DiCaprio in the
Yeah.
shower.
Dude, what the most dramatic way to just, why not just be like, I'm in here. Like, especially if she does it loud. Yeah, it's like, just open the door. I'm in here. Instead of like, had to have that jump scare, and it's a great visual. Marcus, meanwhile, is walking back towards the house when he hears an alien. He makes a run for it into the cornfield, but runs straight into a tractor wheel, knocking himself unconscious. I put in my notes like, man, this kid.
That sucks.
He just is bad at this.
Corn is a very loud vegetable.
It's the worst. It's the worst possible field to run into is corn. Because even if you make it out alive from this monster that's going to make a lot of noise, now you got spiders and bugs all over you too.
and you're lost, probably.
Yeah. Now you have a concussion because you didn't look straight ahead.
And why did they have a tractor?
I think it was just there.
Do you think that they moved into this house? Like,
Yeah, I don't
people
think
got
that.
killed. And
I don't know. Maybe they lived there.
it seems like the family got killed while they were farming, and then
Potentially,
why else
yeah.
would the tractor be there?
Could be.
You
I don't know. Because they don't seem
Fuckers.
like they're farmer. Maybe they were just a farm family. I don't know. And this was their place. So Lee has taken Evelyn to the cellar and placed his new son into the soundproof crib. But an alien heard the baby cry because the baby's kind of like getting a little restless. Then we see Reagan has returned home and notices the beam of Marcus's flashlight coming out of the cornfield, but cannot hear the alien coming up behind her because slowly an alien's coming out of the cornfield. It's great.
Ugh.
This scene rules.
I'm
But-
so terrified.
As the alien moves closer, Reagan's implant processor starts producing a high-pitched feedback, which distresses the alien, causing it to run off.
Yeah, it makes its face all wobbly.
Yeah. Oh man. Like when it faces does that, where it's stretching out all the time, it makes me want to like stretch out. I don't know. I don't know if this is like a type of phobia, but if it is, I have it, I think. When I see
Oh, like the ones like with the
Like the-
billion eyes
yeah, or like
or
know, when-
holes.
like holes in your
Yeah,
skin and
holes.
stuff. People like can't stand that. That doesn't bother me, but something about the way that the tissue inside of its head stretches.
Yes,
I'm
it's
like,
terrible.
it makes me want to like stretch out my fingers and hands.
Gross.
So Evelyn thinks about Bo because she wakes up after taking a nap. Evelyn thinks about Bo and regrets that she didn't carry him on that fateful day back when he Bo straight up dead. Before getting some much needed sleep, she makes Lee promise that he will protect their children. He's like, I'll do it. I can do it. I ain't saving Reagan, though. I don't love her. Reagan ends up finding Marcus and they retreat to the top of the grain silo.
Yeah, this part terrifies me. Like, drowning is a big fear of mine.
I know. And like, and the worst thing is like, I'm going to drown in corn? Really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it'd take a lot longer to drown in corn
I have no
than
idea.
probably water. I feel like water would be over pretty soon.
Like, I feel like
You're going to suffocate
doesn't
a
there
little
have
bit.
to be like some kind of displacement from underneath cause like that suction effect?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I
Like, I
understand.
don't know how that works.
I guess it's kind of like quicksand. The more you're trying to get out, the more it like kind of sucks you in because
Maybe.
the grain's replacing the emptiness.
Right.
That's what I would assume. So,
So let's explore corn some more.
We just
The
need
ways
to
to die at a corn
we just need to
silo.
fall into a silo, I guess.
Or on
See
a
what
farm
happens.
in general.
It actually seems kind of cool. It'd be kind of fun to be on top of a giant silo and then like standing on top of all the corn, just be like, I live here now.
And swim in it like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, Scrooge McDuck. And then like, oh, I'm hungry.
Oh, it doesn't work like that. My neck's broken.
Yeah. So Lee leaves to look for the kids as we see water rushing down into the cellar. On top of the silo, Marcus signs, don't worry, he'll come for us, but Reagan shakes her head because she's like, Dad hates me. He'll only come for you and leave me up here probably. Later, Evelyn wakes to find that the cellar has completely flooded. Flooded.
Elmer fudded.
Oh, no.
I would eat. No, that's a different one.
Is it?
I would eat. That's pig. That's the pig one.
Isn't that Elmer Fudd? Isn't the pig called up? No, Elmer Fudd's
He's the dude.
He's the guy that's like Wabbit season.
Yeah, Wabbits. It was Wascally
Wow,
Wabbits.
who does that? It's all fucked. We'll have to look that up later. So, Evelyn finds the water in the cellar. On top of this, an alien has climbed down inside the room and the baby is sleeping in the
Her
soundproof
water
crib.
broke again.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just
golly,
having
I'm just
another baby.
gushing, dude. And she sees that the baby is sleeping in the soundproof crib, but the top is open. I love this scene though. Like the red is great. The way the monster looks inside the water as it like
And
dives
slips
underneath.
in there.
It's so good.
You're like, maybe it can't swim.
Nope.
Yeah, it can totally swim.
On the second, they can, but we do find out in the second one they can't swim at all.
Oh, so he wasn't really swimming.
Yeah, he's just kind of walking
He's just
around on his
kinda-
hand. He's just like cleaning his ear hole, his
Oh,
head
gross,
holes.
gross.
Evelyn carefully picks up her baby and slinks to the back of the cellar behind a waterfall, flooding the room because it stops it's hard to hear because the water. It's kind of like the waterfall we saw
Yeah, that was
earlier.
cool.
Yeah, they set it up. They're setting everything up so beautifully. Back with Marcus and Reagan. Reagan is growing impatient and doesn't think Lee will come for her. Only Marcus, apparently. But Marcus falls into the corn silo. Reagan, he's going to protect both of y'all. He's not just going to come get one kid, say, screw off other girl kid. It's like, he's not going to come up. It's like, no, you stay. I'm taking this kid instead.
Yeah, you come or whatever. I don't care. Come on.
That's why. Hey, if you're out there and you're a parent, talk to your kids, okay? Tell them you love them so they don't turn out to be like this. So as he's slowly drowning in the grain, though, the alien in the cellar with Evelyn is drawn out by the noise. Lee's out searching for the kid. It passes Lee, and he's like, oh, shit. And then the hatch breaks away completely and falls into the silo, just missing Marcus. Reagan, yeah, terrifying. Reagan herself jumps into the silo and successfully saves her brother by pushing the hatch towards him so he can grab a hold of it.
Sort of another Leonardo DiCaprio reference.
Yeah, from Titanic. John Krasinski loves Titanic. Took everything he got from that movie.
Oh man! And then when that other fucking monster jumps in there,
Yeah,
oh.
awful.
I mean,
Because
like, why didn't it start sinking?
yeah, I don't know. I guess because
It's
they're stronger now. I don't know. Long legs, I guess. But so she starts to sink into the grain. Marcus climbs onto the hatch and pulls out his sister to safety. Reagan and Marcus both sit safely atop the silo door, but then they hear a crash on top of the silo. The alien from the flooded cellar jumps into the silo as the kids cover themselves with a hatch door. They essentially seem like they're going to die because their claws go through the
like aluminum
big
foil
door. So they look like they're about to die until Reagan's implant starts going off once again. And like you hear the piercing feedback, and it also hurts her ears.
Yeah,
or her head, I guess. Forcing the alien to
But
crash.
couldn't she just take it off and turn it on?
Yeah, we figure that out later. But this forces the alien to crash outside of the silo. Evelyn Evelyn, now safe, is searching for the three of them. So we see her walk out. Reagan and Marcus crawl out of the silo and reunite with Lee, who is near, but so is the alien. Reagan and Marcus run to hide in a truck. Lee grabs an axe and is quickly attacked by the alien, which causes Marcus to scream.
Just tosses him around like a doll.
I know. It's like, bam. Of course, the kids just could not hold in their scream.
Oh, they were trying to save their dad.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Upon hearing this, alien heads for the truck and starts ripping it open. This time, when Reagan's implant starts its piercing feedback, she turns it off. It's like, lady, put things together. You're supposed to be the smart kid. And I like
she didn't see how it happened the first time. Well, she didn't know.
Yeah, she just wasn't putting it together.
Right.
And it is one of those things where it's like, well, obviously I know. I'm watching the movie. But yeah, so now the alien's just going ham on the truck. Lee, who is super injured, makes eye contact with his daughter and signs, "I love you. I've always loved you." And it's real sad. He then lets out a yell to sacrifice himself and save the kids. How long do you think he worked on that yell?
I don't know. Probably not too long.
I feel like he was like, I got to look at myself in the mirror and yell. And just so I can get the perfect, like, I got to yell where I still look handsome. But it also has to be dramatic enough. And I also have to be able to cry while doing it.
That's a handsome yell you got there, sir.
Hey, so quite a yell on you. You're the most handsome man I've ever seen yell.
No.
So they put the truck into neutral and row back.
I thought they started it, right? Because they were driving.
No, he just, I think he just takes off the.
Did the roll start?
Yeah, he takes the
e-brake.
I don't know if it was the e-brake or stick shift and just like pushes it down and then all of a sudden starts rolling back. They roll back to the house where they reunite with their mother. Evelyn and the kids hear the alien approaching, so they retreat back into the house and head down to the basement because these aliens just aren't giving up. Reagan, who was never allowed down there, sees for the first time the evidence of all the work her father put into repairing and creating her implant. And it's like, why didn't you just let her down there? Seems like she was pretty like grateful for everything you did, and it would have been nice for her to see all this. You should let both your kids down there. They should all see what's going on down here.
Yeah, there's really no reason not to want to go down.
The camera turns. This is like a huge naked woman, just like poster on the wall, and it's like, oh, that's why.
Like a fat head.
Yeah.
Wall poster.
It's like, why do you have a giant nude picture of Pamela Anderson in here, honey? It's like, look, let me have this. We can't talk.
Who was the other guy? He's got one of them too.
What?
The guy from Baywatch that was.
Oh, really Hasselhoff?
Yeah, Hasselhoff. He's just like a Hasselhoff maniac.
He's a Hasselhoff. Oh, Hasselhead. That's what she has in her baby room. That's all. She just has a naked picture of David Hasselhoff.
His little faces knitted.
That's their hall pass. That's like the one person that they can have sex with if they ever meet. They're just like, I hope they're not dead. But yeah, so Reagan's super overwhelmed with emotion, and then all of a sudden the lights start to flicker. The alien walks down into the basement and has them cornered because this alien just will not leave this basement alone.
He's hungry, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they eat everything.
Yeah. And then this is where like this whole section's like 10 minutes, and it's like Reagan just taking as long as possible to figure everything out and to do everything. Reagan scans a hidden written scribbling from her dad, which reads, "What is their weakness?" That's why it has it written on the board, just so she could read it.
Wow, mind blowing.
Yeah. Then takes a quick glance at the hearing aids on his workbench, and bam, she switches on her implant, creating feedback and causing the alien to shudder. Reagan then amplifies the feedback by holding the processor up against the microphone. Like your head's going crazy. It's awesome. It's great.
Such a cool moment.
Yeah. And then
it's like a superpower almost.
Yeah. And then this is when Evelyn grabs Lee's shotgun and is like, I have an idea now. Blows its head into pieces. And then we're coming to the end of the movie when they see on the surveillance monitors that the alien has seemingly brought every alien around to their home. Reagan turns up the speakers while Evelyn pumps the shotgun. And she's kind of got like a side smile going on, like, let's fucking do it. Yeah. And then that's it. Ends with a cock of the gun, which is.
I wanted to see her go Resident Evil too on these bitches.
Yeah, no. And then they cut to it. Immediately starts here with the next movie, and you don't see that.
and
But
she
you
just
do-
puts the shotgun away.
Well, she does carry it with her, and you do see her kill one, and it is a really dope moment in the second one. But yeah, that's the end of the movie. It rules.
Yeah.
Such a great suspenseful movie. Love
It was
it.
fun. I didn't want my kids to watch, but I think they probably could and be
Yeah,
fine.
it's not.
It's a PG-13.
It's not too bloody, really.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
It's not
they'll
bad.
probably enjoy the kids. And this is every time the kid makes a mistake, you're like, you don't do that. If this happens, you don't do what they're doing. Hey, if you're mad at me, then just sign language at me, okay? And let's talk this out. Let's all be, even though they're like teenagers, so it's not gonna work.
They don't want to tell me anything.
Yeah, they don't. Not at all. All right, so we're gonna move on to our category. Our first category. It's called the good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. It's where we talk about the good of the film, which is something that we like. The bad, something we didn't like. The ugly, something that didn't age well. The fine, something that did age well. What you got, bro, for the good?
I just thought it was a really interesting take on maybe the life of a person with like hearing impairment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a great
just kind of the fear.
great idea to have that in there.
It just intensifies the fear so much for everyone else.
Yeah, like the whole time, anytime she was doing something away from everybody else, just like walking in the
You're
woods,
completely alone.
I just kept turning to Natalie. I'm like, she can't hear.
Yeah.
How will she know if something's
She
coming
is-
up behind her?
Yeah, she is food.
She needs someone with her. And she does this a lot in the second movie where she's traveling alone. And I'm like, you can't hear though. Your head's got to be on a swivel here, lady. Because she constantly never is checking her like sides or behind her. I'm like, you got to constantly be on the
You
lookout
got to
here.
be turning around every few
So you have no idea if you accidentally stepped on like a bunch of leaves and there was one nearby. For me, I put the good as the premise and the suspense. Love a good suspense of a movie. I like
That's
feeling
badass.
bad for an entire movie, essentially.
On the-
I want to be nervous constantly.
There's so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I love it.
What do you got for the bad?
I don't know. Nothing really.
I just
Do
put kids.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Just
they
emotions.
they too emotional. They just don't understand when you just gotta chill out. It's like you just gotta let the hormones and
It's just-
everything.
yeah,
just
it's
gotta
so.
push
but-
that down.
Yeah, I know. You have to bury it deep down
Bury it.
inside.
This is you entered a world that just sucks. I'm sorry.
There's still humans though.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Yeah.
You can't be robots. That would suck.
I don't know. It
But
just
you'd live.
I just feel like I don't
Yes.
know. I like you kids aren't ever leaving this soundproof room. I can't trust you anymore.
Lock the door.
Yeah.
The house that we used to rent here, or
Mhm.
close by where we live now, had a lock on the back bedroom, but it was on the outside.
What the fuck?
They were locking someone in that room.
Oh my gosh. Do you know who?
Yes, I do know who it was. It was their daughter.
Why were they
their
locking her?
grown adult daughter. They were. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I hope that's still not the case.
No, they died.
Oh, the parents
The
did?
parents.
Oh, thank goodness. That's wow, I hope that person's okay. I'm sure there's some sort of
That's terrifying.
she's probably got some problems now. Trust issues,
Maybe always.
abuse
I don't know.
probably been going on there. That's not good. Wow, so I have something that aged the worst. The fact that I just learned that. All right, what do you got for the ugly? Something that didn't age well.
I don't know. Nothing really.
There's nothing
It
really.
was just
Just
a lot
John
of fun.
Krasinski decided to do a
Monopoly. Fuck
child's movie.
Monopoly.
Love Monopoly. It's my favorite game. I'm so good at it.
Fuck Monopoly. It ruins friendships and tears families apart and kills you.
I just like when I play Monopoly, I just love the trade. Like when you trade with people.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm so good at that. I
Yeah.
love it.
I guess that is a fun part of it, but ultimately you must destroy everyone.
Yeah. Something interesting. I've never been like the first person out of Monopoly.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been pretty good. I'm usually able to like the person that I know is about to lose. I'm like, hey, let's team up. Let's go into business together.
Oh,
and
shit.
it usually works.
Nice.
And now I have like Dakota and Natalie just probably screaming
God, that
at their
starts- that
speakers,
starts
just being
fights.
like, you just cheat. You're
Yeah,
cheating. All you do is
exactly.
cheat. Everybody thinks I cheat at board games. Like, I don't cheat. I did it when I was a kid.
You just play the angles.
It's like, look, it's cutthroat. I want to win.
I know. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It is wild how people get mad at Monopoly. I'm like, it's just a board game, guys. We gotta calm down here. I know everybody wants to win, but there
That's
can
how
only
it
be one.
starts. It's just the board
Like
game.
sometimes you gotta be fine with second or third place, or if you're playing against me, last place. So, what do you got as something that did age well?
I don't know. Just this franchise has aged pretty well. I mean, I
Yeah.
like their new movies.
Original content, original ideas, and
Yeah, this idea of silence being, or like making noise being your enemy.
yeah,
And the monster is like its strongest, its strength is its biggest weakness too. So that's kind of cool.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, we just need more IP like this, like original IP. Let's get it some good stuff out here. And guess what? If their movies are good, most people end up watching them. That's not even the case anymore. But
And they'll
this was
bring their
before
own
COVID.
fucking popcorn.
Yeah. God, but there's nothing better than theater popcorn. Oh, I can't wait to get these. I can't wait for my holes to heal. So I can eat some damn popcorn.
It's gonna shove it till you get sick.
I already have like a whole day planned for whenever I'm like, okay, I think my mouth is good to chew normal food. I'm gonna wake up super early. I'm gonna go get some Starbucks, right? I'm gonna get like the double smoked sandwich, and then soon as a burger joint opens, I'll probably just do Sonic, something quick, and that opens at like 10 a.m. when they do lunch.
It's the
Get a
first
burger.
possible.
Yeah, and then probably around 1 or 2, I'm gonna I may go down and get some pizza, just in Murfreesboro. Just eat that whole thing, and then for dinner, I don't know, maybe some Mexican food, maybe like a nice giant burrito.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm going to eat just some ice cream
Oh,
and
shit.
Reese's that has so much just chunky stuff in it that I can chew on.
I bought the kids chocolate last night.
Yeah?
And they fucking hated it. Like, it was a type of Kit Kat that was flavored like donuts.
What?
And
Yeah, that does sound
and
bad.
these kids don't turn away sugar.
Did it taste bad?
I thought it was okay. It wasn't like
Donut's a weird flavor to put in a candy, I feel like.
I know, but they
I don't like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't
like,
understand how
"Alright,
you do
fine,
it.
more for me, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now you know what candy to buy. All right, so we're going to head to our second category. It's double feature. It's where we pick a movie that goes well with this movie. Got anything?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The movie that I decided to choose just because I was reading the notes about Cloverfield. I chose Cloverfield. I was like, just the first movie as a double
Yeah.
feature because they got the little creatures that fall off the Cloverfield monster. I don't know, monster movies love them.
And it's so different.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like Godzilla, but
yeah. And if you're tired of hearing silence, you can watch Cloverfield where it's loud the whole time.
yeah, always.
Though you might throw up because, shaky cam, but I love it.
Oh,
All right, what do you got, bro?
Bird Box,
Hell
the
yeah.
blind movie.
They're like, they made a movie where the monsters can't see. Well, we're going to make a movie where if we see, the monsters get us or something. I don't quite remember.
What the fuck
movie.
are they?
I don't even remember really. I don't think they ever showed it, right?
They just had drawings that people made of
Yeah.
them.
And it's like, I don't know. I really probably need to rewatch that. I remember everybody loving that movie. And I thought it was
crazy.
I thought it was pretty good. I just didn't
Going
think
down the river blindfolded.
Yeah.
Death sentence.
Man, you can't look like at all ever. I need to rewatch it. Just try to remember what's it about. And then they did like a second one, like Bird Box Barcelona.
I didn't see that one.
It's great. I love like 3 B's in the title of that movie.
Alliteration's nice.
Yeah. All right. So that's the end of our discussion on A Quiet Place, coming out perfectly timed with the new one, A Quiet Place, day 1.
Look, yeah.
Can't wait to eventually watch that.
I wonder if they're going to show anything about like how they got there and like their intentions.
Well, they
if
showed
they had any.
Well, how they got there was like a meteor, I guess. Because in the second one, at the start, you just see a giant meteor coming down, and everybody's just like, I love in the second one because when the meteor's coming down, everybody's like, keeps asking people, what's going on? And like, especially John Krasinski's character keeps getting asked what's going on. And he's like, I don't know. How would I know? I see the same thing.
I work in a fucking paper.
There's a giant meteor coming
business.
down. What do you want me to do? I don't know.
I don't know. Run.
The beginning of A Quiet Place Part 2 is a straight up masterpiece. Like the first 10 minutes is amazing. You should just watch the beginning.
I need to watch it again.
The whole movie's great.
Yeah.
The kids are insanely infuriating in the second one, even worse than this one. Like they are terrible in that second one. It's the worst part of the movie is that. It's like, God dang it, kids.
I wish I could just make some noise so I could beat the shit out of these
Yeah.
kids.
But make sure to join us next week because we're going to be doing an episode on the movie X.
Ooh.
Because Maxine comes out the same weekend that our episode's going to be releasing. So we're celebrating it.
What's X?
X is a horror movie. You haven't seen it?
I think I have, maybe.
It's the one where it's like you got a group of people that are going to like
Film a
porno, and
Yes,
then you got
I've
the
seen
two
it.
old people in the houses. You cool with doing that, by the way?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. It kind of rules and it's gross and it's great. But yeah, we're going to do that film to celebrate Maxine coming out. It's going to be 2 straight horror movies, and then we'll take a break from horror movies
Horror.
so that maybe Jason can watch some of these movies with his kids while we do it. Or we'll have to do like a palate cleanser and do a Pixar movie or something. Maybe Toy Story? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Make sure you keep
watching this shit.
Make sure to keep listening to see what we're going to do after the movie X. Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us this week. Please send us some fan mail. You can click the clink. You can click the link in the description at the top. It just says send us some fan mail, and you click the link, and it sends you to your text messages, and you can text us them. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're on YouTube or anything that doesn't allow you to click on the link, you can go to werecommendmailbag@gmail.com and send us some fan mail that way. And if you want to listen to us on our social medias, go to our Linktree /We Recommend Podcast. And it's the quickest way to get our social medias, and you can listen to us on other platforms. And thank you to Joey Prosser for recording our intro and outro. You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser.
The movie X.
I love that. Like, I'm just saying X a lot all of a sudden. Just spouting out a bunch of links and stuff.
The movie X, formerly known as X.
Stream. All right, but that's been the episode this week. I've been Jesse.
I've been Jason.
This is like all I can think of saying.
Shut the fuck up.
Bye.